Hey mates, and welcome to MtMtE. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be covering Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Silverbolt in his robot mode. This week we're going to be covering Silverbolt in his vehicle mode, and we'll be discussing the transformation for Silverbolt and the transformation on how to get Silverbolt into Superior. This is a different type of video today because usually the lineup is I discuss the Transformer, how it came out of the box. Today's video won't start off that way. We will be talking about Silverbolt in his robot mode, not in his, Condor. No. Concord mode. I keep saying Condor when I mean Concord. I don't know why I get those confused. But his Concord mode will be the mode we discuss on Thursday, and I got a lot to say about it. But I wanted to start it off on more of a really fun, positive kind of thing, and that would be his robot mode, because this is a fun Transformer. So, today's video, we'll be getting into him. We'll be first discussing how he compares up to other Transformers that you may have in your collection, and then we'll be discussing the robot himself and talking about his articulation and the accessory he comes with and other things like that. So, without further ado, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment below and tell me what is your favorite member, who's your favorite member of the ariel-bots, or, what's your favorite memory of Silverbolt? I mean, is there a good one? And I'll take Beast Wars as well, because, it's all the same Silverbolt, right? He's just older in Beast Wars. So, let's get started. First off, we're going to compare him here to Air Raid and Slingshot. Crap. Which one is which? Right, Air Raid, you're not heals. Slingshot's heals. Okay, so we got Air Raid here, and Air Raid is going to stand most. If you count his nose cone, that stands almost. That stands all the way up to the neck. But if you just count Air Raid's face. Air Raid's face goes right there, midway up the chest for Silverbolt here. Now, Silverbolt can raise his arm up, and he can kind of wrap his arm, wrap his arm around Air Raid because they're buddies. Yeah, that's cool. Same as for Slingshot here. Slingshot and Air Raid are about the same size, and they come up to be about the same spot on his chest, so he can raise up his other arm here, and he can get his other buddy involved. And look at that! Look at that! They're just a big group of friends. Ah, they're so friendly. Ah, and I'd kick them off, but I do like the ariel-bots, and Silverbolt doesn't need to destroy them for whatever reason. So we're gonna set the ariel-bots off to the side and give you a chance to experience some of the other Transformers that we have to talk about today. And I think we should start off with one of our smaller Autobots, Bumblebee. Because Bumblebee is always just the greatest robot to compare everything to because he is the smallest deluxe scale. Yeah, who's the smallest chug scale? Well, Wheelie's technically the smallest chug scale, but we'll work with Bumblebee here. Bumblebee goes up to the, what is that, your crotch? Oh, wow. Yeah, Bumblebee, shouldn't put that. We don't want this to become, rated 18 plus. So Bumblebee, you stay away from that zone. All right, let's move his arm up here, and we've got a, wow. He can barely even scratch Bumblebee's head without bending down. And of course, he just gives Bumblebee a nice little thwack into the back of the head. Bumblebee goes face down. Yeah. Oh, they'll like the Bumblebee, but we can actually put Bumblebee up here on this roof. Yeah, this is 86 Bumblebee for size comparison reasons. There we go. Get your 86 Bumblebee today. It is a fun transformation, and they're usually on sale on Amazon, so totally pick them up before they're gone. Now, let's come over here and find who... Ah, a commander class we all can love and respect, Rodimus Prime. Okay, a commander class that some of us can love and respect, and others of us yell at. Yeah, he should have listened to Optimus. I personally think Rodimus is a cool leader. So we've got Rodimus here as a commander class. Get your sword out of the way, buddy. We gotta compare sizes here. There it goes. Okay, here we are. Wow, face-to-face. Face-to-face interactions between Silverbolt and Rodimus here. That's pretty good, I think. That is really good. Now, plastic-wise, weight-wise, Silverbolt's got the weight. Silverbolt's got the weight over Rodimus. Just make sure I want to point that out. I think Rodimus was an amazing commander class. I absolutely love this one. And I think Silverbolt is, at least when it comes to weight and size, they are very, very close. Like, wow, their shoulders are almost on the same plane. Like, these guys are pretty good. Oh, maybe a shoulder would be on the same plane if it hadn't fallen over. Silly Rodimus with your silly shoulders. There we go. Yeah, those shoulders are very safe. If it wasn't for the fact Rodimus has a little tip on the end of his shoulder, they'd be the same height. They did a good job getting these guys correct. I believe that they were about the same height in the show, but I could be wrong. Been a long time since I've seen the show. Let's set this guy there. Okay, who's this? This is the Bumblebee, right? Yeah, Bumblebee. And then you guys over here, we've already size compared. Aha! We've got Commander Class Optimus Prime 86 style, and he's holding the 86, the Movie 4 Optimus Prime sword, because Movie 4, there it goes. Movie 4 Optimus Prime has an awesome sword. I just want to say that Movie 4 Optimus Prime sword is epic, and I love the fact that you can get Optimus Prime to hold it. Look at, he's so cool holding his awesome. It's such a cool sword. Okay, all right, moving on. Let's take a look at this. Hey, good. Silverbolt here is shorter than Optimus at the shoulder, and then you put them face to face, and Optimus likes his sword. Silverbolt, the top of his head goes up to Optimus's neck. That is wild how they can be, of the same, and weight wise. Optimus has it in the feet, but I think overall they're about the same weight. They are very, very close to the same weight, and anyway, that's something I didn't mention in the Commander Class Optimus video. Another reason why he is an S class, he's an S tier figure. These legs are heavy, and that does stop the problem of having a top-heavy Transformer. They thought about everything with him. Just absolutely everything. And that sword is just so much fun. Okay, so we're going to set him down over here. And I know, I'm just doing a lot of size comparisons, but I want you guys to understand, what are you getting into here? What is happening here with these figures? And finally, we've got Megatronus right here, because I wanted to show off Megatronus, compared something new, in addition to the ariel-bots. And Megatronus is actually taller. Isn't that neat? Like, you wouldn't really expect that, but Megatronus is taller. Face-to-face interactions. Ooh, nuts. I almost caused problems. Almost knocked stuff over. No, I did knock something over. We're always knocking things over here at blind_prime. Let's correct your heels. I forgot, if I push too much on him, his feet collapse, and then we got problems. There we go. Yeah, the top of the top of Silverbolt's head goes to the just about the neck level for Megatronus here. And just a quick, I don't know if I did this with Megatronus or not, but we're going to take a look at this, because I'm not sure. I think they're about. This would be wild if they are. This will be wild if they are indeed. They are. They are the same height. Megatronus and Optimus Prime are about the same height. Actually, no. Megatronus is taller. Megatronus is taller than Prime? Wow. You know what? That's why I do these videos, because even I learn something neat at the when I'm doing these, because sometimes I don't think about doing these comparisons until I'm making the video, and I learn things comparing the Transformers, that Megatronus is just a smidge taller than Commander Class 86 Optimus Prime. Who knew? I didn't. That's for sure. Okay, so now there's your blast effect, Megatronus. Now we're going to talk about Silverbolt in just kind of the general modes. We won't be bringing up the skeleton in today's video. No. That is right here, and that is a big square of plastic. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video for blindformers, where we'll teach you how to assemble it, and we'll also talk about that in the vehicle episode, where we'll teach you how to combine them together, or at least the best way that I figured it out. Could be completely wrong. So here is his gun, and his gun is a tiny little like ship. This thing down over here. There we go. Is a tiny little ship-like thing. It's got little winglets on the sides. It's got a big old barrel for the nose. It's even got kind of an etching in the middle area for like a little bitty cockpit. I don't know. I just get the impression from this that it's a little bitty plane, and it is kind of a fun little weapon. I don't like the waffling in it. I do say that the waffling could have been ignored. We could have gotten a perfect weapon, but it's okay. It's on the underside at least. All right, now that's his gun. It not texture-wise, not really much going on there. It's got a gun barrel. It's smooth. It tapers down a bit to get to a 5mm port, and then we've got little winglets on the sides. I think that this guy is unlike Devastator. Sorry, forgot the name there for a second. Unlike Devastator, this weapon is blast effect compatible. So Scrapper's weapon isn't, his big one isn't blast effect compatible. Also, this is the gun for Superion, which I haven't figured out how to use yet, because there's no ports. Just don't see it's blast effect compatible as well, but I don't know how Superion's supposed to hold this gun. If you got some clues, let me know in the comments below, so I can actually attach this gun in the right spots. But this is the first time I've come across a gun that folds this much and has no siege pegs. There's no pegs. There's a single port, and then there's the barrel, and then we have these two little rectangular things sticking off on the sides. But I've been trying to figure out maybe if there's a handle that unfolds, but I haven't been able to feel one. And if there is one and I've missed it, let me know in the comments below, because maybe it's right there, but no. I keep thinking it's around this square bit here, but it's not. At least I don't think it is. And I just don't know. This is a strange weapon. It's just this long straight thing, and that doesn't seem to have any connection ports to it. I'm very curious on how I'm supposed to get anyone to hold it. So we're going to set that off to the side, and now we're going to get into the actual figure himself. And the figure himself is very unique. First off, we'll talk about the bottom. He's got hollow feet, just straight up. I should mention that. There is no siege port on the... Wait, is there? No siege port on the bottoms of these feet, sadly. Nothing. And that is a shame. That is a shame. And it feels like this is a panel inside the foot that should fold over and kind of hide the other bit of the foot, but that's not the case. It's just one panel that folds over. And it makes a little closed-in square thing. Gives him kind of a very flat foot, but he doesn't, because it's got a ridge on it. If you fold up his heels, he can't actually stand. He's a weeble wobble now because of the ridges on those bits. But that's kind of neat. We can actually unfold these feet by feeling around here at the toe area. There's a little area you can slip your fingernail in, and it's not a difficult hinge, so it's not going to break your fingernail off, and aren't we all happy about that? He gets extra points just for having the ability, having that. So coming up here to his legs, on the front, we've got some fun vent action going on right above the foot. And by the way, the ankle tilt is real. Yep, good old ankle tilt. It's actually an ankle lock too. That foot can lock in place. And I do think it's neat that when the ankle tilt happens, there's these toes, this toe area here that kind of sticks out a bit. And I do like that. I think that's kind of neat. We get that little area that sticks out. And it adds a little more support to the foot. I appreciate that. I really like it whenever they spend time and attention making sure the foot is sturdy and can support the figure. That was the biggest flaw with Megatronus, is that you got to be careful with his feet, and you don't have to be that careful with Silverbolt's feet. They gave him some nice stompers. Up here we've got that vent action I was just talking about right above the feet. It's in there inside this little rectangular area of the armor. Feels really nice. We get these little nice slick armor pieces going up the sides of his legs, or the front of his leg. That is, it's slick and kind of smooth because he's a plane, and plane's got to be slick and smooth. We've got some really fun bits going on to the side. I like how it flares out a little bit down here. I like that little flare out that we get from the side of the foot. Coming up here to his knee, we've got a single jointed knee, I think. Yeah, it's single jointed. Still decent knee. We're going to raise it up. There we go. And it is a stiff knee. It is actually a double jointed knee now that I'm playing with it. It's just you can't get that double joint out very well without raising this foot up. One more click, there we go. And then we got to close the heel up a bit, and there's that double joint. Look at that. He can actually get a little bit of a double jointed knee. And now, can he achieve crane stance? Can he achieve crane stance? That is the question, isn't it? Okay, now raise your arms out to the sides. Balance your soul. Relax. Breathe. And achieve crane stance. I gotta keep tilting him. There it goes. Crane stance achieved in a slightly tilted way. Hiya! Kapow! Now, is that good? Can you hold that stance? Yes, he can! Yes, he can! Smell my foot! Smell my foot, Bumblebee! Smell it! Smell it! It's fun to be able to play with these things like this. I like it whenever they're that articulated. This does give you more playable factors and more posability options, and you can get fun and goofy with it. And I always suggest getting fun and goofy with it. I mean, don't take why so serious, son? Laugh. That's the point of life. Live, laugh, love. Let's come over here to the front of this. And we've got some thighs I want to talk about because he's got textured thighs. If you've been a fan of my channel, you know how much I appreciate it whenever they actually put thought into the thighs. And look at this. There's so many little textures and lines in there. And that's nice. We get that big line there, and then this center line that's popped up a bit. So we get this indented line, and then we get a popped up line, and then we get another indented line. And it makes it feel like it's part of a wing or something. It just screams aeronautics to me. Avionics? Avionics, yeah, it screams avionics to me. And moving over here to the side, we've got, what is that? Is that a vent? Oh, no, it's not a vent. I was happy there for a second. I like my vents. Coming around here into the back, we've got some more of this really nice texture going on there. Just wonderful textures. And we can spin it at the thigh swivel and feel the inside area, and even the inside of the thigh has got some texture to it. This is not a plain Jane thigh. This is a straight up amazing. Oh, that makes me so happy. That is just so nice. That is that attention to detail I appreciate, and why I always love these figures, because the detail right there. And I appreciate that it's happening more and more often. Where as they're getting a little more constricted with things, they've got to try and push the envelope. And when the pushing the envelope is etching those thighs, and that is wonderful. Please continue doing that. Engineering staff at Hasbro, you'll get. Why are your arms? All right, crane stance. Yeah. So for the thighs, 2 thumbs up from this blind man right here. I appreciate it. I really do. That is really good work right there. Now coming over here to the skirt area, we've got very slick, smooth skirts with little wheels hanging off the sides of them. And they're not caster wheels, sadly, because I think that would be great if his skirt had caster wheels. And they're kind of similar to the Concorde's wheels, but the Concorde had some bigger wheels. They weren't just a single set like this. There was like, it's a big old rectangle of wheels on each side, and just because of the speeds it was when it came in. Now they did something here that they don't do that often. Each of these skirts is independent of the other skirt, so one skirt can raise up and the other skirt can stay down. I love it when they do that. It's always annoying when you get a cool figure, but both skirts are attached, and then you're just like, oh, that sucks. It would have been nice if one of them, if you could only move one of them at a time. Now, the thigh area here, well, the groin area gives me Gundam vibes, like major Gundam vibes with how it's designed. It comes up. I keep expecting that little red symbol to be in there somewhere, but that's about it for that. We got to pick up the Concorde's wing stuff on the back. there is a bit of, of waist swivel. It's just a bit, and it is really stiff. Now, let's talk about the articulation up here. So we've got ratcheted joints, really nice, strong ratchet. Listen to those ratchets. Ratcheted joints that for the front and the backwards motion for the thigh. No ratcheted joint on the side, and that's where I want the ratchet the most. I always want a ratchet there. It is annoying when we don't get a ratchet on that side joint, but that's okay. I'll take the other ratchet. That's a good ratchet, and it does help stabilize this figure a lot. Now coming up here to the chest area, we have got a big old broad chest. Like this guy's got a huge chest, and it's wide and it's fat. He is a beast of a transformer, and we get a lot of stuff going on here, but not as much as you would think. We got these two indents that you can kind of get your pinky into, but there's no vent inside of there. It's just a big square thing that's cut out. Actually, no, it's a big vent. Yeah, each of those squares is a big vent. Yep, I can feel the vent in there. They're each a big vent on his, and there's pecs. So he's got pec. Sorry, he's got pectoral vents, and I love that. And then in the center area, it's very smooth, very sleek, more of that aircraft feel and texture. So we're not getting much when it comes to textures in the front chest plate. A lot of this is just gives you the idea, the symbolism of heavy armor pieces, and they managed that with layering the plastic and how they painted it. So the texture they managed to paint on it does give the impression that this is a heavier chest piece. This isn't like his smooth wings that can cut through the sky. This is supposed to be able to withstand laser bolts and stuff to protect his spark. So that's pretty good. And he rattles because there's two pieces in there that belong to the head for Superion. I hope they're still in there, and I hope they didn't manage to escape. There's a place you're supposed to put them, but I can't get them in there. Now, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Coming up here to his head, we've got a normal head for him, and it works out pretty good. I like the fact that it feels like he's wearing a little baseball cap, or like postman, not a postman's, newspaper salesman hat. You know how it has that little bill, and then the fabric folds over the bill a bit, and that's what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling that kind of fabric folding over the bill. And it gives the impression that his head, he's wearing the baseball caps that were kind of popular in those days for the Navy to wear, because I'm pretty sure the Navy wore baseball caps. Not Navy, Air Force. That's the impression I'm getting from that. Or either that, or it's a pilot's hat, but it doesn't give it's not the right shape for a pilot's hat. It's more like like I said, kind of a baseball cap. Down here, he's got a decent nose, a little thick, and then he's got a mouth and eyes in there. Now, moving over here to his side, we've got an arm that's got some really cool textures on the front, and yeah, I keep thinking that this bulgy bit on the side is a hinge to fold this bit out, but that's not the case, and I've destroyed my fingernails trying to fold that bit out right there, but it doesn't fold out because that's not a hinge. That's just sculpting into the plastic, and I like that. And also I appreciate the fact that that's a way they can even hide hinges, is by sculpting them in ways like that. It's a rounded edge to his shoulder, and it feels like he's got little winglets stacked on top of each other to make the shoulder. When we slide down here, we've got just a smooth forearm. Not really much happening here on the top of it or the side of it. On the underside of it, we've got these huge hollow sections, and that is a negative on him. But on the inside of it, the side that faces the transformer, we do have these nice textures, and there's a few of them, some airplane textures etched in there, but not really much going on. But you do feel some hydraulics and stuff, and I think that's really cool. Now he has the hollow section because for transformation his arms got to fold weird. I do wish that there was a panel, but I also get why there can't be a panel in that case. Now, coming down here to his back. His back is the final bit we're going to talk about today, because we got a lot to talk about on the back. The back is the big old wings and the Concorde's nose. We get all these little squares that represent windows going down the length of it, and the Concorde's nose is all folded up, and it just kind of stretches down his back. And this is a lot of kibble, but I think this is how it was in the show. I'm pretty sure this is how it was in the show. So you gotta you gotta forgive this kibble. Yeah, they made it accurate for show kibble, and pretty good overall. Um, I say there's these nice wings here. I like you could fold out the wings more if you want to give them a bigger profile. You can actually fold the winglets out, the little winglets, and there you can increase his profile a bit more. Give him a bit wider wings so he can soar to chase down the Decepticons. But that's just about it for him. And I'm gonna give this figure. Actually, let's go over here and talk about another thing I missed, which is the back of his leg, which is most part pretty good, except for right here where there's this huge thumb-sized hole in the back of his leg that could have deserved a panel folded over to hide it. It deserves to have a panel hiding it, because that is kind of an obscene hole in the back of his legs. But that's it. And when it comes to his negatives, he's got some hollow sections, but the articulation's wonderful. The weight is perfect. The plastic diversity is broad. He does a lot, and he manages to complete a lot, and he manages to stand up very, very well. He is a sturdy transformer. He is a superb transformer. Dare I say it, he is a superior transformer. I'm going to have to give him an A+ ranking. He'd get the S tier if it wasn't for his little faults, little bitty things. And that's what changes something from S, A+ to S. S is just absolutely perfect, and A+ is it's 100%, but it's not going above and beyond. So he gets 100%. He's not going above and beyond like 86 Optimus Prime went above and beyond. But that has been Age of the Primes Silverbolt in his robot mode. I know the video's been a little long today, but I wanted to make sure that you understood exactly what type of figure you'd be getting if you managed to find him. And I really hope that you manage to find him. And I know that I absolutely love all these things that have come from Japan, and I support Japan every day of the week. Whenever it comes to this stuff, they've got amazing imaginations. They have taught me more lessons with their media than American media has bothered to teach me. They've actually, they work really well. All these things are cool, but it's also cool that that country gives us so many cool stories, like the Transformers, like Gundam, like Macross, they like Ninja Scrolls. They give us a lot of fun things, and I really appreciate them for it. And I love the fact that these Transformers are an example of American engineers and Japanese engineers working with each other. They don't, one person just doesn't do it and calls it a day. One, a Japanese engineer like oh, I don't want to mispronounce his name, so we'll just say Japanese engineer that we all know and love, and they say his name a lot, and I've really got to get good at saying it. He does good work, but he'll do something, and then he'll send it over to Evan's team, and they'll work on it a bit, and then they'll send it back over to him, and he'll work on it a bit with his team, and they'll send it back and forth, and they'll work together, and it's two countries working together to accomplish something that is this cool, that is this amazing. Everything on this table, the Transformer wise, is because of those two countries working in tandem with one another to create something cool, to create something, in my opinion, beautiful, to create something that is long lasting and is cherished by millions of people. I just wanted to say that because I think it needs saying in today's time that nothing we have today could have been accomplished without another country We've been working with each other, and we've been making things that far surpass the old. I mean, just look at the G1 transformers. Those were all made with a single country in mind. And then you look at today's transformers, when you got multiple countries working together to create something cool and sharing their ideas and their loves, and it's just, it's amazing. It is amazing, and I absolutely, absolutely love it. But I've blathered on long enough. Cream hasn't even come in for the video today. He has slept all the way over. Why? I left you a spot closer. You've had this entire table. You've had this entire table. And you slept as far away from the camera as possible. What? What? You know people love you. I love you. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Until next Prime, I'll be back tomorrow with teaching you how to transform Silverbolt. Bye-bye for now.